There we go. We're live.
We're live. Perfect. Hey guys. This what was it? Pod 11 this time? Live 11.
20.
What this one? 20. Where did I get 11 from? I'm getting bad at this. Anyways, guys, through the fingers,
Nope.
live number 20 today. We have some guests coming on. We're going over a few things. Gonna be touching on King of the Table with them. We're always happy to have some guys on. So, anyways, before we get too far in anything, Brian has something that he'd like to say, and we just want to get it out there to the arm wrestling community. And yeah, here you go, Brian.
Yeah. So one of our fellow brothers today, actually a couple days ago, I guess got injured at work. Dylan Houghton. And I just want to give a shout out and send my hearts and prayers to him and his family and hope that I hope everything's okay. I'm not sure exactly the extent of everything, but apparently he got flown in by helicopter, Stars ambulance or something. So just if you can say a little prayer for him and his family. I know that him and Dustin and Len and everybody else in his family would probably appreciate it. So
Yeah, the Houghtons have a huge impact on the arm wrestling community Canada wide. Really, they're powerhouses, and so to hear something like that is very unfortunate. And as they know, we're all with them, but we just want to send our prayers where we can. And yeah, guys, just wanted to get that out there quick.
how
And
do you
yeah,
send on Messenger?
send
An
the Zoom
invite.
link.
Yeah.
It's a good. I think if you, I don't know how to do it on computer, but I know I can hit share and then like it gives me the link. I think, and then I copy and paste it.
Because when I go to participants, oh, copy invite link. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
see
that's the
I
one.
don't do it on my phone. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how I can do it.
So
Yeah.
we all watched King of the Table at Matt's practice.
Hmm.
It was good. A lot of one-sided endeavors that I wasn't really expecting.
Yeah, a lot of surprises. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, it was very surprising throughout. So that was sweet. Um, yeah, what was your favorite match, Zach?
Uh, I think my favorite match would probably be the Michael Todd match. But I think I was most surprised. I was surprised with a lot of matches, but I think the Georgie Rivas match, I was very, very surprised. Like I would have lost money if I would have bet on that match because I didn't expect that outcome at all.
That's actually how I felt with Oleg and Ungerbayev.
Yeah, that's also fair.
I
That
I
was
had
crazy.
Ungerbayev. I had Ungerbayev. I could have seen Oleg maybe winning a tight one in the hook, but like for him to just do whatever, he pretty much did what he wanted, which I was like, wow.
It was very impressive.
Michael Todd had a very fast press in round one. I was very surprised.
Yeah.
It
What about
was
you,
good.
Brian? What was your favorite match?
Probably you know what? Probably because I was rooting for him so hard, the Paul in match in
Oh
lockout.
yeah,
That was a
I
good
was
match as
most
well.
hyped for that match.
Yeah.
That match was on my radar just because I really like both those guys.
100%.
Like Lachlan was super awesome when I was in Dubai, and Paul, obviously, we had him here on the podcast. If you guys haven't seen that one, feel free to go check it out. And yeah, it was super good. Oh, also, as you guys can see, I'm in my car today, so I can't see the chat. So if you see anything bumping in the chat, feel free to just let me know.
Sure.
So yeah. And then our guest today, we got Jeremy Draus coming on, also from Red Deer Club, but he's all over the place. When we get him on, we'll introduce. And then who is the other one again, Brian?
Um. Oh, Daniel the Nightmare Schwartz, and I'm actually just having difficulties because he wants me to send him a link, but not through email. He wants me to do it on Messenger, but I don't have Messenger on my PC.
Oh yeah.
Trying to
I
figure
was
out
gonna
how to
s-
get him on here right now.
you could always tell him to you could always give him the Zoom meeting ID
Yeah,
and then
you
the
know,
password.
where does that come up? Where's that?
I can tell that to you and just so the meeting ID, are you ready? I can just read it to you. Oh,
Okay.
I guess I probably shouldn't read it. Well, I don't think
Uh,
anybody's gonna just randomly
I don't
join.
think so. We'll trust everyone. Send it. Yeah.
Oh,
I can kick people too.
here,
So.
I'll just message you, Brian.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
my phone's getting hot.
We'll have a few special guests.
Imagine just everybody joins. That'd be funny. Good thing I picked up my phone. Actually, it's super hot. I had it sitting in the sun. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
Sorry for everyone watching for the minor technical difficulty. We just want to get our guests in here, and then we'll really get rolling with this thing. Oh, someone's connecting.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's Jeremy. So the first thing I sent you was the meeting ID, Brian, and the second one was the passcode.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh man, he's one with nature.
Hey guys,
Hey,
Both sides.
Hey, Jeremy,
enjoying the
Hey,
fire.
brother.
that's perfect, man. I'm sitting
Yeah.
in my car heating to death because I'm going to Edmonton practice after this, so I didn't go home.
Nice. Were you in town working?
Yeah,
Right on.
yeah, I was working in Edmonton today, so
Right on. What'd I miss?
Nothing
we're
yet.
just
Not a
getting
lot.
started.
Except for we talked about Dylan Houghton being in the hospital. He had a work
Oh no.
injury. Yeah, they flew him in by Stars ambulance. He's in ICU.
Oh no, what happened?
I don't know the whole details, just that he got severely hurt at work. So
Shit.
yeah, so I just wanted to say, if everybody does a little prayer for him, and hopefully everything works out. I mean, I don't know exactly how bad it is, but it's bad enough,
Well, yeah.
Yeah. There we go. I think we got the other guy. There we go.
Hey,
brother.
how's it going, guys?
Hey,
Good.
Dan, how you doing?
Howdy, howdy.
Figured out how to get you on. I'm not that savvy, eh? So, yeah.
That's quite all right. That's
Yeah.
quite all right.
Mhm.
Just figuring out my audio. My audio is a little wonky.
Oh, no worries.
No worries, man.
Much better. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure can.
Coming
Beautiful.
clear.
Awesome.
Well, we just started off by talking about, well, first we gave a shout out. I don't know if you're watching, to one of our brothers that got injured at work. And then we started talking about King of the Table matches, which ones we like the most.
My personal favorite was Paul Lynn just running
me
through
too.
Lackland.
Me too, man. That was mine. And I thought that
I'm a
too.
little-
He agreed with me. I was the only one, I think.
I knew he was gonna win, but I didn't realize it was gonna be that convincingly.
I had an idea because I just thought if he gets that lane, you seen him against Sasho, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that match could have been his, right? If it wasn't for, I think, one bad call and a little more endurance, and I think Paul won that match. So, yeah.
I haven't had a chance to see it. I was working that morning, so I didn't get to see it yet. But it sounded like it was an awesome match.
Oh yeah, you showed up afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't
that's
get there
right.
till like 1 o'clock. I just seen really the last two matches. So
Good matches.
Yeah, they were good. You know what? They were all blowouts, so that really shocked me.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, like so many blowouts. Like, wow. I didn't expect. I thought there was going to be like the last match. No, come on. That was. I don't know. That was pretty good too, right?
Oh, with Camille?
No, it's the second last. Then there was
Oh.
Ivan versus Morozov.
Oh, yeah, that was the second one. Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't get to see that one actually, to be honest.
Oh.
'Cause, I was running my own event, and I was running around like a chicken out of my head. So I only found out the results. I just didn't get to see it.
I don't know.
Fouls
Ivan.
got in the way of that match.
I think Ivan's amazing myself.
Yeah.
Oh, Ivan's awesome.
Yeah.
They had like a reffing issue for the first little bit of that match too. They were reffing with the incorrect rules for like 10 minutes, and then they realized, so they tried to like switch it all back. It's kind of a
Yeah.
shit show there, but
Yeah, I got my complaints about some of that reffing, but I think they focus too much on just looking for one thing sometimes with certain guys, and they miss a lot of shit. But it's hard to ref, especially at that level too. So
yeah.
well, yeah, those competitors they actually have to listen to you at the same time, right? Like it's sometimes they don't want to.
And it's on pay-per-view. They don't want to lose either, right? So
yeah. So anyway, what we should do is, Jeremy, you want to give yourself a little introduction, buddy?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it should.
For
Should get
everybody
people
that's
to know you.
watching, my name's Jeremy Draus. I've been arm wrestling now for about, I don't know what, 4 years. I guess I started COVID times. Backyard wrestling at Matt Masks. So I'm from Red Deer, born and raised. I don't live there currently, but I'll always compete out of Red Deer. I started refereeing now, so you'll probably see me in a lot of different places. I'm expecting. So
Yep.
feel free to say hi.
Right on. And Dan, got to introduce you,
going?
brother. Yeah.
Sure. My name is Dan. I'm also known as the Nightmare. I come from Deer Park, Long Island, New York. I've been arm wrestling back since September 2020, so just after COVID. Came in the sport as a super heavyweight and lost over 100 pounds thanks to the weight classes.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's right.
Wow.
Good for you.
I think I seen a post too of before and after too. Yeah,
Yeah.
last year or something. Yeah.
Were you at the Mac event in New York?
No, I couldn't make it up there. I had to work.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I feel like I didn't meet you there, so
No, I couldn't make it up there. I wish I
So
I
what-
definitely want to make it the next time, though.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It'd be a good time. So what event were you running that you were talking about?
So as soon as I started in the sport, I fell in love with just the camaraderie and the opportunity to network, and that's something I was always good at doing before coming into the sport. So I started doing barbecues to have the little challenge matches, big practices, highlight the community to my other world of wellness, and then highlight wellness to arm wrestlers as options for recovery. And so I had my 4th annual barbecue. And you can see the poster behind my shoulder. Got a lot of sponsors for raffles and financial support from local companies and businesses. I know you met Ivan and Steve
Yep.
from New York Tri-State Arm Wrestling. Great dudes. They were pivotal in helping me make sure this event went off the hook. We had some really great matches, great energy. We got people from Puerto Rico, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, coming to support this event. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Well,
Yeah, you know what? I think I did the same thing. You just sound like me. I didn't lose all the weight like you though. Yeah, I'm still pretty heavy.
Gotta hit those cuts, Brian.
Yeah, but it sounded like me. Yeah. Just same thing. Love the sport. Yeah. Camaraderie. I mean, how can you not love arm wrestling, right? And then the events, that I'm a promoter as well now. I run events, so sounds very similar. Yeah, that's good though. I mean, you're giving back to the community, right?
That's what it's all about, man. I look at arm wrestling as a way that saved my life because I was morbidly obese. I'm only 5'9", but I was 270 pounds. And so I was very unhealthy, very, very unhealthy. I was a big boy and had no reason to being one. And so, having run-ins with the likes of Paul Italia, he actually helped guide me and tell me, what weight class he thought I would be, most competitive at. And I fell in love with just the overall transformation process. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had my rough days, but the process, the goals and the gains that I've made, in every other capacity of my life beyond arm wrestling has been profound for me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know it is weird, hey, how arm wrestling. I mean, I think a lot of us can say it saved our lives. I mean, I was like 300 well, I did lose a lot of weight, just not as much as you. I'm like 280 now. But I lost like 50 pounds when I found arm wrestling, and it was the same thing, sitting on the couch, just getting fat, wasting away, depressed. COVID hit. Said, there's got to be something. I said, there's got to be something that I can do that I can be competitive in at my older age. And watched WAL and phoned, just like Jeremy said, he started with at Matt's. I mean, I contacted Matt and boom, it was the same thing. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of the viewers and a lot of people out there probably just share the same experience in a lot of ways. Arm wrestling is definitely a good sport, and I think even the confidence you build socially because of the community being so accepting, I think it goes outside of arm wrestling. It helps you carry a confidence in everyday life. You know what I mean? So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, I've
Yeah,
gained
yeah.
like 30 pounds since I started, so you guys are really making me feel bad here.
All in the chest and arms, Dakota. You're just thickening out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not bad weight, I don't think, but it's funny.
No, you're definitely. It's not bad weight.
No. You're gonna fill out more still with age, buddy.
I was gonna say you look pretty young there, Dakota. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh, you're a little child.
You're a
Oh
baby.
man, yeah, you just growing into your weight, man. Growing into that frame of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see
hopefully.
pictures of you. You look tall as all hell, man. So you got to fill out a little bit more. See,
Yeah.
you're probably getting another
Yeah, I'm
15,
like-
20 pounds.
Are you 6 foot?
I'm like 6'2".
6'2"?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're my height, Dakota. You're 6'2". Like I think we're both the exact same height. So,
Yeah.
and
Everyone
I'm
thinks I'm
225.
like,
So,
yeah, everyone thinks I'm like 5'11" because they always see me beside Matt. They're like, oh, you're taller
Even
than
I
I
look
thought.
small. Even I look short beside
Yeah, when I'm
Matt.
yeah.
when I'm standing beside a 6'8" behemoth, I am gonna look a little shorter.
Yeah. I still think he's taller than they say. I think they put him down at 6'4.5" or something, but he's
When
like,
you ask Matt, he's like, yeah, I'm like 6 foot.
no, because I'm 6'3.5". I'm 6'3.5", and he's
He's
towering.
obviously
Nah.
pulling your leg.
Yeah.
I just mean like Matt, like, yeah, no,
Mhm.
he's tall though. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's taller than Devin.
Yeah, I think yeah. a little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh yeah, by like an inch.
You got any more events down the pipes here, Dan? You planning?
Listen, I don't envy you guys who have full-time promotion gigs because doing
It's a lot
one
of
gig a
work.
year, it's a lot of work, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
exhausted. I feel hungover afterwards. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything, but I feel like I am, after the
Yeah.
event, it takes me a day or two to bounce back and regain my energy levels. So, with that being said, I might have a large practice event for my birthday on October 30th.
That's cool. That's my birthday. You're not born October 30th, are you?
Yes, I am.
No way. That's my birthday.
Hold on.
See, I told you. You're like a mini me. I'm telling
That's
you.
awesome.
That's my birthday. That's
What are
weird.
No
the
shit.
odds?
That's weird.
So you got to come on down then for the birthday
Maybe I will.
There you go.
celebration.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's just weird.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I was born as
That's a little
10:40,
bromance.
10:42. Yeah, at night. Yeah.
I was in the morning, 8:30.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that night. Yeah. That's weird. Devil's night I was born. Yeah.
I'm November
Yes, sir.
3rd. I'm close to you guys, but I'm not as cool as you guys.
Oh, you're still a Scorpio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Believe me.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
So what was we went over favorite matches, but like from what you guys have seen, what was the most shocking match from King of the Table 11? Because I know for me, there was like a few that I did not see going the way they went.
I kind of already mentioned mine, saying the Georgie and Rivas. I did not see that.
I thought Georgie was going to win that though. I got almost
didn't.
perfect. I got almost
I did
perfect
not.
on all my predictions. Perfect. That's never
I thought
happened.
Rivas was gonna just, but it was.
See, I thought Georgie, because Georgie, when he first came back, he was coming off the couch and he was strong. Like you've seen it, But once he was able to fatigue, I think it was Sergey that he went up against, Kalashenko. And and then seeing his next match, and then now this, like you could just see the evolution of the guy. And he had muscles coming out of his head. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, he did
like-
look big. He looked big.
And I think Rivas is overrated. I kind of thought Rivas was overrated. I don't think he puts in the work. I don't know why. It's just my opinion. It's just what I watch, right? So, yeah, I thought Georgie was going to just be way too strong for him. Rivas has a good hit, but, when he gets put into a war, I don't know.
Right. Where's the endurance at?
Yeah, that's just it. I know he looked like he gained 80 kgs in his gut that match. he looked pretty
He was
big.
like 380 pounds or something.
Yeah, he's huge. He's like 170
Massive.
kg. Yeah.
Big.
But I was like, I don't know if he's even reaching the table with that. Like it looked like he was about.
Right. Like that. How much belly gets in the way before you can grip up?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not
Now
trying
he
to knock
knows.
him.
Gotta
Yeah, I'm
come
not
down
trying to
a couple
knock him.
inches.
Yeah. It's not, Yeah, yeah.
What about the GOAT Ryan Bowen? Got to be a shocking one.
I actually thought he was going to get whooped because Schoolboy had a lot to prove because of Leonidas. I thought he was coming in fierce after Leonidas. Yeah. And what a talent Leonidas is. Wait till that guy gets good.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking. His beating Schoolboy. I thought Schoolboy was going to beat him. So I think that Leonidas he's gonna just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. He's really going to shock some people, I think.
Leonidas is a cool dude, man. I met him in Toronto when Matt was pulling Jordan Sonev, and like he's awesome. Yeah, and he's government funded, right? Like he is like their main guy in Germany. Like he's their top dog, and so
and his social media
he's gonna keep getting better.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
Huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the Larry Wheels of Germany, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then I'm trying to think of all the matches. I mean, we watched.
The first match was the Schoolboy and Ryan. The second one was the Georgie and Rivas.
Yeah, and that went the way I thought.
Yeah, the third one was Paul Lynn and Lachlan.
Like I said before, I think, I knew Paul was going to win, but the convincing fashion in which he won, that was freaking epic. He just dismantled everything that Lachlan had in his arsenal. I know Lachlan was doing a power.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to try to take a page out of that book, actually. Just his strength in the bottom of his hand. He just that finger like carved in and just ripped them. I mean, it was ferocious. Like it was, yeah, and I liked it. I messaged him right away. I'm like, yeah, I knew you were gonna do it. I knew blah blah. He's like, thanks for the love, buddy. But I like Paul Lynn. He's such a good guy. How can you not root for him? Lachlan's nice too, but
I'm a little partial to Paul Lynn as well because my early on, I was like 6 months in. I went to a big practice that he was at, and he taught me pretty much the core fundamentals of what my style is. And so I'm anytime Paul Lynn's on the table, I don't care who he's against.
Yeah,
he's my number one guy.
Yeah. No, he's good. I mean, we worked with him for our East versus West qualifier we did here, and him and James Reed, just both great guys. Yeah, great guys.
Yeah, like Dan was saying, he just shut him down like fundamentally. He was just able to put him on his bicep and just rip him open, just straight down basically every single round.
Overpowered him.
Absolutely. Paul Lynn's got a tournament coming up this weekend, actually. Keystones, shout out to Paul Lynn's Keystones with James Reed. They got Pennsylvania States. It's one of the biggest events in the Northeast that happens. I like it a lot because it's like a big festival. They set up like these like carnival tents, and then everyone brings their own little pop-up tents around it. They park their cars around it, and they pull until the lights turn off, and they turn on the headlights. It's a pretty epic event, and he's trying to highlight a lot more with the kids too. So bring some young blood into the sport.
Yeah, we're trying to do that too. Like kids are our future. And women. Like, come on, women. Any women?
Yeah, I'd like to see more women come out for sure, especially since I have a daughter that pulls, right? It'd be nice to see more competition, but it's the amount of kids that we're seeing is definitely fantastic. We had a lot of kid entries at provincials this year, so and some of the pulling they do is awesome. The techniques they know at such young ages, it's impressive.
Yeah, it blows me away. Some the top roll and the speed of some of these kids, it's like,
yeah, absolutely.
Dude, every time I watch youth, I'm taken away how much better the youth get.
For sure.
Over and over. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, what we're doing now is we're giving women and kids, we're not charging entry fees anymore for them. So
nice.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best.
That's sweet.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to get, to bring it up, and actually my daughter is gonna be starting a women's arm wrestling group. And we're gonna when we finally get a facility, because we're working on getting a facility, we're gonna have like a woman's only night, because sometimes I think the women get a little intimidated. They walk in, there's 40, 50 of us, and the testosterone flying. Right?
I was gonna say, and it's like burly men. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. So
Well,
you know,
even Ambrin, when I bring her to practice, she's even though she knows everybody, she's even still shy and timid, right? Because it's still, it's still a bunch of dudes.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Well, that's just it, right? Like it's just the way it is,
just
unfortunately.
the way
But
it
I mean,
is.
like,
Oh, it is. It
yeah,
is. But you know what though? You know what? Like, I'm going to do my best to give them a platform and and I'm even thinking about posting on those event groups and stuff and
Yep.
just start just get anybody out, just try to promote it, right? So it's in the next couple of years, a goal of mine is to at least triple the woman population in our arm wrestling here. So
I think you guys can do it. There's a lot of women out there.
yeah, yeah. We got 5 new ones at the Armfinity Club.
Nice.
Yep, yeah. So yeah, things are looking. I think we had 7 women at Thursday night's practice last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's like a record.
That's a lot. I think
I've seen
that's
like
more
7
than
at a tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe.
most states have.
Yeah.
That's it's got to be a record for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is catching, right? It's just the thing is, that's the thing. You gotta work and you gotta get the women comfortable. And I think once they see the love of the sport and the camaraderie that we all talk about, I think sky's the limit. It's just a matter of getting them in, and then eventually it's gonna grow, right? Just like anything.
Well,
Just gotta
and
put
then
forward.
that's just it. It's growing it. When you think of arm wrestling, an arm wrestling tournament, you're not thinking of a family friendly event. If we're being honest, it's not the first thought that comes to mind. So it's like when you actually, now that the promotion and social media is there, we can actually show that it is very family friendly. Bring your kids. We all have a good time. And it's starting to grow. And I think that's why we're seeing more and more kids now, is because of social media, honestly.
Helps
Yeah.
it out.
well, and to add on that, like I think it's the type of promotions that we're seeing. Like I think arm wrestling promotion now compared to what it was before is just not
Yeah.
the same because we're also developing it as more as a sport than like trying to get people together to have something, you know what I mean? And that's just what comes with the population growth from like COVID, like we were talking before, and things that brought eyes to the sport. Like the more eyes you get, the easier it is to promote, and the better people you get at promoting is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I think getting it recognized as a sport is a goal. At the same time, I've been running into some issues because I mean we're looking at getting government funded actually, and we really want to have it recognized as a sport.
Yeah.
The only thing is with that, how much red tape are we going to bring in, right? There's always
Probably
implications.
more.
There's always downsides, right? But I mean, we're gonna right now. Actually, we have a meeting. Ronnie has set up a meeting with the sport heritage something. It's run by the Conservatives of Alberta, and we're having a meeting with them about funding, actual government funding. So, and then we want to start a kids program and all this other stuff. And
That'd be sweet.
yeah, and we need help with the facility too because it's quite expensive. But we'll be the first of its kind. We're going to have a full wrestling training facility. It's going to be 24/7. It's going to have all the weights and everything the normal gym will have, but it will have arm wrestling tables, a lot of arm wrestling specific stuff. And Sergey is actually moving here in July. And
wow.
I know he's going to be our head trainer at the facility. So
Nice.
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's very
And
cool.
Sergey Kalashenko is like really, really good arm wrestler too. Like, and he really knows
Very
his
good.
stuff.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah,
Him and Matt together will be
that's
really
so
good for the
awesome.
sport, too.
Matt having him, oh yeah, like it's a blessing, right? Because those two together training all the time, it's just going to be sick.
Watch out everyone else, really.
Yeah, yeah. So there's so many good things coming up here. It's just I'm so excited. I mean, it is hard on the nervous system though. I mean, it's been
You're doing good,
This
Brian.
year's
You're
been
doing good.
stressful. Yeah, it's been a stressful year for sure. But yeah,
Sounds like good stress to have though.
yeah, oh, it is. It is. Yeah, yeah. So
Worth it.
and it's nice because it's noticed too, right? I mean, at provincials they gave me the Spirit Award, and I thought I'm bringing it up again because I'm just so happy, I guess, and honored that they thought of me.
No, it was well deserved, man. It was a fantastic award and well deserved for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't perform so good, but reffing and pulling, I think those days are done for me. No more of that stuff.
You don't have to perform when you get the Spirit Award.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
yeah, Yeah. No, honestly, ref, I don't recommend anybody trying to pull and ref all day because it just doesn't work. It's just...
I hate reffing. I've actually vowed to never do it. So
Me too, man.
Yeah. Well, I went
wanna do
I
it.
went and
I
did it to
applaud
help.
anybody who actually literally does that, refs and pulls. They're a true glutton for punishment, and I guess I'm a weak sauce individual. I'm not going to
Yeah.
do that. No,
Well,
thank
I
you.
do it. Like I did it back at Lethbridge tournament. I think what was it? When was that Lethbridge tournament? February, March?
Yeah, 2 months ago. Yeah, about 2 months
So
ago.
I did do it then, but just provincials. I just wasn't feeling it, and
You made the
I'm
right
glad I
call.
didn't. It wouldn't have. I just would have been handing my money away, which honestly, I just was what it
Yeah.
is. But sometimes it works out. It just depends on the day, honestly.
Yeah, there's days where I have enough energy to do both, but
Yeah,
I find if I'm really serious and it's high level competition, I gotta have my hand in the game the whole time. Because when I'm
well,
reffing, I'm so
yeah.
focused on being a good ref that I'm not thinking about arm wrestling.
Well, and that's what it is. Like you're at provincials. I'm not thinking about, okay, who's here? How am I going to pull them? Yada, yada, yada. Like I'm refereeing these guys that have also been training to pull for their provincial medal. So it's like you kind of have to make a decision, right? Where's your time best focus at, and some guys are better at, or they can do both, and so yeah, I chose to do the one, but
Well, I found out I can't, so yeah,
Fair.
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way though.
Yeah,
And then
you
you know
do.
from there, right? Just sucks when it's at provincials, eh? Like it couldn't have been
Yeah.
some random tournament.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was still a good day. Like we still had a good day, Brian. So it is what it is.
Oh, it was
but-
great. It was a great day.
Yeah.
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 And it's nice, just seeing all your friends from all over the place, and it's awesome. Yeah. It's
So
nice.
Dan, how'd you get your nickname?
So I don't know if you know the name Chris Laco. He was was a deaf arm wrestler out of the state of Connecticut. He recently just got a cochlear implant, so he's able to hear. But I met him before he had that, and he comes up to me. He was still able to speak even though he was deaf. He does a lot of lip reading, and he comes up to me and goes, "Dan, you're a freaking nightmare to your opponents. I think I'm going to call you the Nightmare." And
Okay.
I was like, you know what? It worked because I'm in recovery. I'm about 6 months in. I mentioned earlier I don't drink, I don't smoke. I used to do a lot of that, and it was definitely a living nightmare. And when he came to me with that, it was kind of just a little serendipitous for the nickname, to kind of come be a living nightmare at the table and put all that pain, frustrations, angers, and trials and tribulations and find a place to channel it. And so I like to be, a very kind-hearted, compassionate individual off the table, but when I'm across the table from you, you don't get that version of me.
That's absolutely, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. I've seen some of your matches, man. Like you're pretty deadly inside. So
And that's of late, though. That's only of late.
Really?
I was actually dedicated. Yeah, I was a dedicated top roller for like the first 2.5 years until I suffered a little. I don't know what it was. I think it was a little wrist injury.
Yep.
It just wasn't going away, and it hurt. It hurt. I couldn't figure out. So I don't want to stop arm wrestling. I got to learn how to hook. And I actually had lessons from Paul Lynn and Dustin Jetliff, and a couple other pullers in the Northeast area kind of coach me and teach me how to hook. And I found out that I was fairly strong in that lane. Being a silver bullet top roller really did help me be stronger in the hook.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It all plays one another.
Yeah, I'm trying to get strong in the hook because I find if I get carved in on my bicep, I get in trouble. So I've been working on it too lately. Yeah, I started with the top roll. So yeah, but you hook pretty damn good though. Just laying, you hook pretty strong in there. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I am working on it. I just faced this guy. He's got about 40 pounds heavier than me over the weekend. Ray Romanowski. He's a ref and a puller. Strong puller. He's a solid 200 pounds. He's not much taller than I am, but he's just all muscle. Like I feel like his biceps as big as my head. and I was able to top roll him. And then I tried to, match him in the hook, and he just had way too much power over me. Way too much power, and that's a style too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do you prefer to hook or do you prefer to top roll?
I prefer to top roll, especially if I'm in the strap too. I prefer to top roll any day of the week. But if I feel like I've actually become wary of somebody's setup pressures, and I'll change up my game real quick on the fly. And if I find that hey, listen, I got a stronger arm than you, I'm gonna hook you, plain and simple.
Just bang on the inside and see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's weird, eh? When we start out, we get to the table and we don't recognize those pressures, right? It's that's like really the evolution is just, getting better in the setup and learning what you feel and how to respond to it. I used to just stick to my ace all the time, right? And then, I got in some pretty ugly matches, but now I'm starting to feel where, if it's better to just use my lat and drag them down and then I'll do it, right? But I couldn't identify that until late last year. So
the problem with using
take what's given.
Well, you can't use your ace all the time, because then eventually everybody knows what you're doing, and then you lose, right? People catch on to you. So that's also what forces a guy to learn a new technique, is when all of a sudden they've caught on to how you top roll or how you hook or whatever it is. And it's like, shit, now I got to learn something new here to switch it up for these guys.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a specific match that when you speak to that versus Caleb Arbender out of California.
Oh yeah.
He had a wicked low hand top roll, and I could not do any of my normal top rolls, but I actually caught him in a hook position, but I did not know how to maneuver, how to do anything. But I was holding him there, and so that also initiated I need to learn how to hook, because if I only knew how to hook at this position, it would have been a completely different outcome.
Well, once you realize, wait a minute, I'm actually strong there, or whatever it is, whatever that realization is, it's like, oh shit, I need to train this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always uses that low hand. I see Caleb a lot pulling. I watch all the matches, right? So all your guys' events, I'm watching them. So, but I noticed Caleb, he's always going for that low hand top roll all the time. I mean, you could definitely, now I bet you'd be a little different. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I need a rematch against him, man, because in the worst way, that is definitely one of the guys that I need to put that to sleep and put that to rest, because that's very few things keep me up at night, but that match is definitely one of them. But I just can't get it out of my head.
Florida guy or a Cali guy? I don't know. I'm pretty
Cali
sure.
guy.
Cali guy, yeah.
Cali guy.
Yep.
So remember they did the Florida versus Cali? I watched that.
Well, hopefully he'll hear this and he'll hear the challenge.
Oh, I've actually issued. He's accepted challenges. We just can't make it happen because timing and the financials. I mean, we're literally
distance
opposite ends of the states.
Yeah,
so,
it's a big deal. Big deal.
Well, makes sense.
So any promoter that's looking to pick up the match, we'll be happy to do it. He's already agreed to it, and he's eager to do it because he's seen, what I've been doing. I've been seeing what he's been doing, and I still think I can give him a lot more of a reward than I've ever given before.
Well, promoters watching, there you go, guys. Match to make right there.
It costs too much for me to bring you guys down here, so we'll
have our own little mini East versus West. East Coast versus West Coast.
That's right.
I would love. We talk about that up north all the time, because Ontario and Alberta, not that we actually have beef, but we have this whole thing going on who is the best arm wrestling province. And I think it would be so fun to do literally you could just do a whole North American East versus West, and just not at maybe not at the highest level, but just get a bunch of super matches of people from either sides that we know want to arm wrestle each other and just set it up. It would be a really fun time.
Versus South again, but do it properly. Yeah.
In Alberta, you mean?
No, North versus South, as in Canada versus US, because people have done it. The people have done it here and screwed it up, right?
So, well, yeah.
I'm not getting into that. Yeah,
we'll just leave that alone.
Well, yeah, but it is something that would be cool.
There is going to be a North versus South August 17th.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's true.
Did you hear about our big event, Dan? So
I did a little bit
Montana,
of reading on it. Yeah, the Montana versus
Alberta.
Alberta. Yep.
Yeah,
I
so
did
like,
hear that. Yeah,
well,
a lot of.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
No, you go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yeah. No, a couple of the guys came down from Montana and then they pulled and they had a couple super matches here and I got talking to them. They're only 4 hours. Montana's only like 4 hours away from like
Oh, wow.
like we're like like right across the border from Alberta is Montana. So I'm like, well, why
Yeah.
wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we have a rivalry, right? So then this guy Dion out there, he's like, he wanted to put on his first event, and I thought he was just talking a couple super matches. He's got like 25 super matches.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
wow.
big, eh?
It's
It's grown
huge.
really big.
It's grown, yeah, yeah. And I don't
That's
know how I
awesome.
got so lucky to pull the number one, and Dustin got the number two, but that's how it worked. Yeah, so I'm pulling Chuck Young, the Destroyer. And then Dustin's pulling Ben Brooks. Dakota, who are you pulling?
Dalton Waller.
Dalton Waller. Yeah, he looks strong too. Zach, you got two guys.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I met the guy Zach's pulling. I'm excited for that one.
And Nicholas
Yeah.
Abel or something.
Abel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Abel. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Tim Geeb.
And
Dude,
that's 154-ish. Isn't
Yeah,
that?
154.
Yeah,
dude, that Hunter Bratton kid from
yeah.
Montana is no joke, man.
Who's
He just
going against
got
him?
third. Austin.
Oh, Austin's got him. Oh, nice.
Yeah. He just got third at Michigan State. And he sent me some after pull footage of him pulling Kevin Palco, that kid who just pulled Auden.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he was putting work in, man. He is
So
he is
Austin's going to have to put
Downtown
some work
Pelco
in.
looks pretty strong though. Yeah.
Kevin Balco's a beast. I pulled with him. I did. I was
Yeah.
at one of his dog fights events. Actually, I had a match against him. I got the first round on him, but then he just made a couple adjustments and he swept the floor with me.
Brian, I'll send you the
That's
footage,
cool.
man. I
Yeah.
was like, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Austin, you know what? We're gonna get him ready. His hand's pretty good though.
Well,
So,
and if Hunter watches this, like Hunter and I talk quite a bit. Like him and I are good, and like I really enjoy meeting him. But he knows that I'm gonna set up Austin the best I can, and I have a few things I want him to try. So we're gonna set him up, see what happens.
yeah, yeah. I'm
No, it'll be
hardcore
good.
training. I mean, every tendon in my arm right now is killing me. So I was doing statics for 2 hours today. So
Nice.
yeah. Well, Chuck Young apparently is just a big hitter. So he just goes sideways hard. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping to make it. I'll see. Like, obviously, I don't have a match, but we'll see what happens last minute if we can just travel down, come for the tournament.
Yeah.
But not sure just yet. But it sounds like it'll be a good time. And like you guys said, it is so close. Like it's an 8-hour drive for me, and you guys are 2.5 hours south from me, so it's that much closer, right? Well, and even Brian, I guess for you, it's probably what, 4 hours?
It's almost 5 hours total.
Yeah, so
total drive.
No, it's
it
not
actually
a bad
makes complete
drive.
sense.
Yeah.
We did it
Oh,
the
the
other
manageable.
weekend. It's not bad.
Yeah, you were there, Dakota. Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
it was. I
that's
met
right.
You went
everybody.
even further. You went even further than where we had. You didn't go to Great Falls. Where
In the
did
buildings.
No, we went to Great Falls. We
Oh,
were
was
in
it Great Falls?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're the
okay.
same
Well,
place.
that's
we're
where we're
going.
going. Yeah, Great Falls. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they got a lot of good pullers down there too. Like the States is just flooded with good guys. Even when I was in Rochester, like I was very surprised with the talent there. They're a bunch of good young kids, good old like it just
What
everywhere.
happened with the guy that I was supposed to pull? Apparently, he didn't show up or something.
Who?
That Ray Delmore guy. Yeah. I talked to
Dude,
Ian,
I don't even
like he didn't even
remember.
show up. Yeah, the guy that he got another match with another guy. I don't know, but it didn't happen. It's curious.
No, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the event. So how did Tarian do against Tim
They
Lewis?
didn't end up pulling.
Oh no?
So actually, fun story on that. When I went, because Terrian got his passport stolen, and so originally I was supposed to be the replacement for that. Like
Tim
up
Lewis,
until the
right?
day of, I thought I was going to be pulling Tim Lewis left-handed, and then they ended up replacing me with Jamie Staken, and Jamie Staken ended up smoking Tim Lewis 3-0.
He looks strong. Yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah. From what I gathered from that match, I think John Terrian would have beat him 3-0. nothing against Tim. Like Tim's a great guy. I talked to him a lot while we were there. We ended up pulling actually. Tim ended up beating me in the tournament, so he's got a really good like drag with his left hand. But John Terrian's a different kind of beast, man. He's pulling Robbie Carson-Dyke in Florida at the Challenger Series, and I'm really excited for that match. I'm gonna get to see that one live. So,
yeah, John's got a pretty good hit, right? Like he's solid.
He's a monster. He ran through all of Puerto Rico in January. I was there. I got first place in my weight class, and I had to face him in the overalls. And that power, man, my left arm's my party arm. It's not my main focus. I don't train it like I train my right arm. But yeah, no, he had some serious power. I've actually after pulled with Tim Lewis too before. And, I definitely gave Tim a lot more of a fight than I gave John. So I think that that John definitely would have ran right through him, like you said, 3-0.
Yeah.
Tim's just like a freight train.
Tim is good, but he needs to like rev up, and he like gives you his wrist almost, and he just kind of slowly like pulls you, whereas John just kind of hits right through that, right? So
yep, exactly.
Yeah, Tim Lewis just seems like if he catches you, you're in trouble. If it slows down, it's gonna slowly go his way. It just seems like
man.
More of a bleeder.
High torque, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Thomas has a match. He's in the chat.
Yep.
Oh, hello, Thomas.
I'm not sure on who he's pulling though. Thomas, who are you pulling?
Tom. I know who Thomas is pulling.
Do you?
I can't think of his name, but I met him in Montana. Thomas, get training, buddy. And everybody from Alberta who's got a match, get training. Just get. That's all I gotta say, man. That club was full of killers, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think
it says Luke Kott.
Luke Kott? Yeah, Kott.
Yeah, Luke Kott.
Yeah, I think he's a French guy. Yeah, probably. Kott is French, but
doesn't Dale Kott have a match too?
Kodak or I never say his last name right. You know what? He had a match against a killer. The guy.
We all have matches against killers.
Oh, wait, his was a killer. His guy actually ripped apart Ty Segal's elbow. So Ty wants him. Yeah, Ty wants him. And actually, I wish Ty was healed and could come, because you know what? He ran through all the Montana guys last year when he went. Like from what I heard, he did. Yeah, except for this one guy that destroyed his arm, like just killed.
Ty told me he might be retiring his right arm.
Yeah, because it's
really
bad. Yeah, this guy wrecked his arm, man. It was bad.
Yeah. When he pulls, it can be damaged.
But he did pull. I got a video of him pulling. What's his name? The guy that wanted the $1,000, Jake Houston. Yeah, Ty flashed Jake Houston. So.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Jake Houston.
Anybody talked about taking that $1,000 match or no?
I thought people would, but no one's got the money to do it. And I don't know exactly whether that came from Jake or not. I was just told that he wanted whoever it was to put 1,000 down or something. So I went and made that post, and then he replied. He goes, "I never said any of that shit, but I'm down." I'm like, okay, that's what I was told, that you wanted $1,000. You had $1,000,
but nobody's jumped on it.
No, it was T-Bach at first, but T-Bach said he was going to, and then but he just doesn't have enough days in a row off to go. Like he's got like
I think Evgeny would, or Eugene would,
but he can't get a visa.
If we'll have to have the next one in Canada, and we'll set that one up.
Next year we'll do it. We'll do it here in Alberta. Yeah, it'll be Montana.
What's the weight cap for it?
176.
Yeah, he said 180-ish. Yeah, he said like
you're not gonna make her, Jeremy. Sorry.
No, I'm not. Yeah. That's a big cut for me. No, thank you.
Cut off a leg.
Yeah. At least a leg.
Yeah, that's like
Last time I heard Jeremy say he was cutting a little bit, he hopped on the scale in Toronto and was in the supers.
yeah, I remember.
Isn't that ridiculous?
I said, is he pulling supers?
Man, I weighed in at 240. I was just shocked, like absolutely shocked.
That
Yeah,
happens.
like
though.
at least I won my first match and then I did okay, but like still that was just
But the
floored.
altitude. It's the altitude.
Yeah, that's what we'll blame it on.
I gain 10 pounds when I go there too. 'Cause they're sea level, right? And we're 4,000 feet above, right?
For sure.
It was so funny.
Heavier air
exactly.
made me heavier. That's got to be what it was.
Jeremy
Electric
was like,
gravity closer to Earth.
Yeah.
Jeremy's like, I can't be that much over 220. Like, I haven't weighed myself in a couple weeks, blah, 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 because the weight classes were really weird. And then we got there and he jumped off the scale, and it was like one of them Jim Carrey movies where like the eyes pop out of the head.
It totally was. That was a good time. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. It's not like if I was in the 220 category, it would have made a difference. But
I seen you win your first match, or yeah, I seen you.
I did. Yeah, I flashed to the first guy, and then I had to go up against Rick, big old Rick Heiderbreck.
Dear God!
Wow, that's like yeah.
So,
I don't know what that's like, but Josh.
As soon as my wrist connected with his wrist, it was over.
Yeah.
And then I had to go up against Dakota's dad after that, and we had a bit of a battle, and then he managed to catch me and pin me. But yeah, it was a good day. So it was
a good match. I might post that match on my YouTube because you guys had like a 35-second battle. Like him and my dad were going at it. Man.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah, you should. I haven't seen it for a long time. I'd like to watch it.
Oh, I have it on my phone. Jeremy caught my dad's hit.
That's pretty good.
They were like back and forth, and then Jeremy, you gave him your wrist accidentally, didn't you?
I did. I screwed up and kind of went too far forward into him, and then he was in the hook, and then just when I was coming back over, he just sucked me over.
Yeah, no, Jeremy stayed outside, and then he kind of teetered in, and then it went in this way, and then my dad just quickly sideways.
Yeah. Or else, that would have been my second win, and then I would have had to pull Sean after that. And then Sean would have just smoked me at that point, so it wouldn't have either way, right? So
yeah, fair enough.
But next time,
I got to pull Artem at that.
Yeah, you did, and you damn near pinned him too.
Really?
Oh.
He was
way stronger.
That's a big one.
He was way stronger than me. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think he kind of was just underestimating my setup.
Sleeping a little, maybe.
He dumped his hand quite a bit, and so I just kind of high hooked over him. But once I got to my side, I made the mistake of, instead of staying outside like this, I kind of tried to push in like this. And as soon as I went into the hook with him, it was just completely different. And he's really good at stopping and getting that second surge, right? So
he's got a second hit. Yeah.
Artem's a beast.
But no, it was super good.
Yeah, he is. He's really good, right?
Yeah.
Artem is fantastic.
Artem, if you ever see this, I gotta talk. Well, in Florida, actually, I need another shirt, man. That one, the letter's falling off. So
it was nice to see Ali get the win on the left against Artem.
Yeah,
that was good.
At East versus West, yeah.
Ali was in the chat there. He might still be in.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, you saying hello?
Yeah, his left, Ali's left is something. I think his right's good too. But his left,
Ali's awesome either way, but his left seems to be doing really good for him right now. Both arms are good though.
Yeah, I mean he had some words with Artem and he won. So,
guys, I hate to be that guy, but it's 7, and I'm going to practice at 7:30, and I got like a 25-minute drive. So I'm gonna
say hi from the club.
I will. I'll tell Edmonton we said hi, and then just quick before I go. Kyle from Grand Prairie he wants to come on one of these times and promote the new event he's doing September 21st. So,
awesome.
Keep it. Northern Twist Masters is announcing it tomorrow. He was telling me to say that, guys, just so you know. So September 21st, they're doing a tournament, so we'll have to keep in touch with that. And it's always nice when Alberta goes and supports them, because even though they're up north, they always come and support everywhere. They're everywhere. So it's nice to return the favor. But anyways, Dan, it was really nice meeting you, man. I'm sure I'll see you around.
You too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, and then I'll see you other guys at a practice or something. Hey,
you bet, buddy.
Yeah,
I guess I'll see you. I'll see it.
I'm actually coming to Red Deer Friday night, and then we're down for till Saturday afternoon. So if you're around, maybe we'll catch up or something. But we'll be. And then we're heading to the town.
Yeah, everybody watching too. I'll be back on tomorrow. We're having Ian Carnegie, JJ, and Matthias on. We're talking about the Mac stuff with them. They want to cover it, so feel free to tune in, guys, and like and subscribe if you enjoy. But anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your talk and peace out. Hey,
peace.
See you later, buddy.
Talk soon.
Good one, man.
Yeah, he's going to Edmonton practice right now.
Good group of guys in Edmonton.
Yeah, they got a good group of guys for sure.
Well, and there's always 20 or 25 guys, 30 guys there. Like there's always lots of people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Girls
they
too.
get good numbers. Like actually, they were. I think they were the biggest club in Alberta, but I
oh, for
don't
sure.
know. I
Yeah.
think I think we passed them now here.
Oh,
I think so.
okay.
I think we're
Yeah,
up
I
to
guess
like
you guys have
90.
seen some growth for sure.
We got like 90 members now, I think total.
Active members, like
Well,
Wow.
ones that come, yeah, like
yeah.
it interchanges. Like I think the Sunday there was
impressive.
40 people Sunday on a Sunday practice.
Wow.
And I mean, we've had 50 on a Thursday night.
Wow.
Need more
How
tables.
How many tables do you have?
Yeah.
We got 5 tables only. I know. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, so
We're
there's a
led
lot of
down.
guys standing around.
Well, unfortunately, yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
we do a good job at alternating, right? And then
Yeah,
couple of
as best
tables,
you can.
Yeah, we go king of the table a lot on a couple of the tables, and
Yeah.
yeah. So everyone gets a chance, right? And
Well, and
Yeah.
I mean, when you got that many people, like how many you can only have so many tables, honestly, right? So it's
well,
You know.
where we are right now, but when we get the new facility, we're looking at maybe having like 10 tables. So
Good.
That's
Very nice.
awesome.
yeah, and they're good tables. Like I'm brag about our tables. We sell them too. So if anybody wants a table, you can order it at armfinity.com. Just let you know they're WAF regulated, and they're probably the most solid tables you can buy.
yeah,
So,
they are nice for sure. My next table I'll buy was gonna be Armfinity. I was thinking so.
yeah, they're
What's
pretty.
it cost them?
They're $1,000. So,
Okay.
How much just for the upholstery?
I'm not Ronnie would have to. I'd have to get the info because Ronnie takes care of all that stuff.
Yeah, because if my
Um,
table ever wears out, I could just get a reupholstery.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Oh, he can get you one. Oh, yeah, and it'd be very cheap. No, that would be very cheap.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
for sure. We might even work something out for you, just because if you're willing for it to say Armfinity, we might be able to just get you one. So yeah, I wouldn't
Cool.
worry about that. But no, Ronnie, big shout out to him because I got the Spirit Award and everything, but he's been trucking away too, man. He's making contacts with the government. He's talking to MPs. He's talking to Jody Gondek. Like, who wants to talk to her? But he is. And you know what? Good for him. And he's doing amazing things. I'm
He's
gonna
a
get him
dedicated
on here one
individual.
night too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously a great contact for things.
Oh,
he's
the business end is Ronnie. Like,
yeah,
like
100%.
yeah, like I'm friends with everybody, and I'm, like, I guess I'm the guy that goes around and, is just friends with everybody and works everything out. But behind the scenes, this guy's a wizard. Like the clothing line, like look at the clothes we get. Look at even the pants. Like, I'll probably show them. Armfinity.com pants.
Oh, nice.
We got the whole clothing line, and I mean it's good. You got the jerseys.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
I'll find one here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know I'm advertising
Like the swag.
now, but yeah,
It's shameless plug.
it's a shameless one. Yeah, I know. But yeah, so and it's and as far as the jerseys go, like any clubs out there that don't have club jerseys and want to contact us, I mean, let us know. I mean, we'll hook you up. We'll probably hook you up no cost at first, just there you go, right there. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it'd be your team logo and everything, and you just have to deal with the little Armfinity on there. That's all. But they're nice.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
awesome.
I may have to get in touch with you then.
Yeah,
and talk
for
to you a
sure.
little bit more about
For
that
sure.
because
Versus what?
Yeah,
I just recently just had my logo redone by Kevin Palco. He's the one who actually designed this. So shout out to Kevin Palco.
Oh, nice.
I love the little designs that he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, well, we can put your logo on anything, right? Like, yeah, definitely.
All right.
And it's good. It's good. Like, it's really good material too. Breathable.
Nice.
It looks like it.
It's like sporty material.
This is a hoodie, actually.
A sleeveless hoodie.
Yeah, because it's got my name on the
See, you
back.
can almost see through.
I need one of those sleeveless hoodies, actually, Brian. You got to get me one of those.
Oh, we'll get you one. We can get the order in and get you one.
I want
Like
one.
that.
Yeah, I got my Red Deer one upstairs. I have a one with the red deer on the front.
Yeah.
Like yours, Zach. Yeah. And like, yeah, you got a team jersey, right, Jeremy?
I got my team shirt. Yeah, you bet. Me and Amber
Yeah.
both have them.
Yeah. So, and I mean the quality is really good. You
Oh,
know?
they're nice shirts, but like everything works. Everything looks good on them for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. Ronald MC. If anybody needs to reach out to him, that's the guy to talk to because
Yeah, Ronnie's great, man. He's a good guy.
yeah, he is a good guy actually.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything, Zach, that you had that you wanted to talk about? Sorry.
We could just go over the last couple matches, the Michael Todd and Lars match.
Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't even finish
Look
that.
at a few more of those, yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite match, the Michael Todd Lars match, mainly because it was good to see Michael Todd, not Kings moving so much. You know, it's cool.
He came in
See a
confident.
West guy win too. It's nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like his arm's in way better shape.
Well, his numbers are
I
big
think
in the gym.
he's back. I think he's
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
because he was on a losing streak for quite some time, and you know the last win he had over at East vs West, and then now this, like you know,
Yeah.
we're seeing a different, you know, I don't know which version 2 10 20.0.
I stopped counting.
Yeah.
36
I stopped
point.
counting, but
Yeah.
Got the $1 million arm insurance. Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? If it's working, who really cares at the end of the day?
exactly.
If you're winning matches and you're having a good time, who cares?
Yeah. Do you see the side pressure?
Yeah, a lot of side pressure.
Yeah.
That was impressive. He pulled like me. He kind of like just was slamming sideways. Like that's what I do. I just grind down and just go. And he was doing it. Like his arm was holding up. It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like supper's ready. I'm gonna probably actually jump off here too, guys.
Yeah.
Supper's
we'll
ready.
go
Yeah.
down.
It was
Sounds
good chat with you,
brother.
Jeremy.
Hey,
Yeah, it
buddy.
was actually,
Nice
you know
meeting
what?
you,
Thanks for
Jeremy.
having me, guys. Nice to meet you. I'll hopefully get to come back and
Oh yeah.
you know,
Anytime.
sounds good. See you guys later. Have a good night.
Have a good evening, Jeremy.
Too.
Take care, bro.
If I can get off this thing, we'll figure out
it's like
how
me.
here.
Every time I try to leave, I'm trying to end it. Yeah. No, that match was pretty damn good. I got it. You know what? I overlooked that match actually. And
I really liked
good.
it.
I thought Lars was going to do better than he did. I did not think that Lars would be Kings moving. And, you know, it was a total reverse of what I thought was going to happen. Yeah.
I got a funny story about Michael Todd actually. So I wake up to a text message from somebody. I was like, "Who's this texting me?" And I look, it's Monster Michael Todd messaging me,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Why is he messaging me? Like, well, can I do something in the community? What the hell?" And so I go and go open it, and he is, "Where do I send the money?" And I'm like, "You don't owe me any money." And he's like, "Oh, my bad. I was actually meaning to send that text message or that message to the guy who I bought the RV that I got wrapped up for me."
Oh.
And then we just started talking from that point forward, and it was right before he was doing his 100 ward tour. Yeah, the little tour around that he was going to do, and we got to talking, and I did not. It was so pissed because he was going to make it out to Long Island, but because of the tolls and fees and the traffic that he was warned about, he's like, "I'm not doing that, but I'll be in New Jersey," and I could not get off of work soon enough to get out to see him. I was so pissed off. So Monster, I need to get down to the Monster Factory for a match. At least I can hang out with you there.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll take any money you want to send me, man.
Well, you're worthy, man. Like I said, you've been looking really strong. So, what rank are you in your state?
So New York State is probably the most unorganized state, and it's because you ever see Warriors, you know, or gangs of New York, like everybody's at each other's throat all the time. Nobody can really agree on anything in the state. You know, I'm hoping that my energy will help people kind of come together. I'm not going to be the guy who's going to do it because I don't have the patience to deal with it. There's too much drama in it. But I'm going to still promote positivity and hope that other people follow suit and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we should put our differences and squabbles to the side to grow this sport. Because I got to tell you, we have some serious monsters here in New York. And I'd say I'm in my weight class fairly at the top. I think there's one or two other guys that we interchange with, for the 176s and under. I'm not going to drop any more weight though. I played around the 154s last year. Was getting injured and getting people bailing on matches left and right. And so I was like, you know what, screw this shit. I'm going to climb back up to the 76s and play around. So I'm looking to make a bigger name for myself this year. I got second place in my first 76 tournament at the Jason Vale Memorial. That was a really awesome tournament. Beat a world champion, Santiago Balsameo from Argentina. So my next big showing is going to be the Nationals, USAF Nationals. That's happening in Allentown, PA, also ran by Paul Lynn and James Reed. And awesome. They linked up with Simon Barachoa. I can't pronounce his name.
Okay.
But I just hope we can get New York, organized, maybe a year or two down the road.
So it's just like scattered there.
Yeah, it's like there's factions. One of my teammates calls it factions, and nobody really we'll come together for a little bit of time. We'll start growing, and then once we grow to a certain size, something implodes, and then it just scatter, And it's it is a shame because there really is there's a strong group of community. That's why I try to do my barbecues every year to try to see who we can bring out. Unfortunately, because of some of the scattering, that happened, there wasn't as big of a New York presence at the barbecue as I have liked, but there was still a New York presence nonetheless. I will say Brooklyn has probably one of the most cohesive training teams as of now, which is kind of nice because it's in the heart of New York City, really close to New York City, very accessible to a lot of people coming from Jersey. So I expect them to have probably the biggest capability and biggest chances at coming together and bringing the sport to the next level. And then also upstate New York, I don't know if you guys met them. No, you probably haven't met them. But Ivan and Steve Fernandez, their efforts for the Tri-State New York Arm Wrestling.
Okay, yeah.
They're new on the scene, but they are really trying to bring things together in a fashion that I haven't seen as of yet. And they're all about the positive promotions. They're all about giving people opportunities that they have never gotten before. I may or may not have a match. They're working on it July 27th for me. So I'm not going to say who the potentials are, but there are other New York guys that we're all clamoring to get to the top. But let's work together a little bit more.
So I got a
ahead.
question for you, Dan. So
yeah, what's up?
By what it sounds like, because I think everywhere experiences it. Is it because people feel like when someone holds an event, they're getting their toes stepped on? Is that what's going on? Is it organizers getting bitter because this guy's holding an event and it's a week, 2 weeks out from their event, or is that what's going on? Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And even if it's because here's the thing, Long Island, that's the other side of it. Long Island, it's costly to come out to us. It takes me 40 minutes just to get to Manhattan. To an hour just to get to Manhattan, and then to the other side of Manhattan, it takes me another half an hour. So it's an hour and a half before I even can get to New Jersey or upstate New York. So I'm not going to necessarily travel out that far that often. I actually do travel that far that often, but most won't.
Yeah,
exactly. Most people won't. And then the inverse, even less people will come to Long Island. So we have to be willing to, hey, let's carpool. Hey, let's get a van. Hey, let's get a bus, and let's get a sponsor. Let's get sponsors to pay for a bus, so that we can go to tournaments. As a crew, instead of us all coming at different times in different places and never coordinating with each other.
Yeah, that's what you mean. There's not enough communication amongst. Because we have the same problem here. It's been no secret. There's been one organizer here that he's been holding events, and he gets really upset when someone holds an event close to his event, and it turns into like a big, you know what I say though? I say, you know what? If there's more events, don't complain. Okay. Listen,
Pick one.
the ones that are that support you, they'll be at your event, right? But the more opportunities us have as pullers, it's got to be about the arm wrestling community. You know, if you're holding events only to make a big profit, well, then you need to just hold really big events and advertise way in advance, and you'll make your profits. But other than that, people should just worry about, it's good that we hold them all. If there's 2 events in the same month, that what's wrong with that, right? You know what?
Nothing.
Some guys work oil rigs where these guys get this 10 days off, and then these guys have to work and they get the next 10 days off. Well, wouldn't it be nice to have 2 events where it works for everybody? So you can't go to this event, but you can go to that event, right? And vice versa, right? We have to look at the sport as a whole and really grow the sport and put our pride aside and say, listen, the more events, the more opportunities, we need to support each other. And you know what? If you live near me, Dan, and you threw an event 2 weeks outside of mine, you know what the best thing to do is? Support my event, promote it, and I'll support your event, and we're both happy. You know what I mean? The ones that can't come to mine will go to yours, or vice versa. Or some guys might not get beat up and they can compete in both. You know what I mean? Because there's always that too, right?
There's
I'd much rather
always
have it
that.
that way.
Yeah, yeah. Like
It gives people options. You don't
Yeah.
have to, you know, like
That's a
sit
good
there and say,
thing.
oh, I can't compete this month because I have to work. Oh, wait, no, there's an event that matches my schedule.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, a lot of the thing is, I call it the pride bubble, and people view people's strengths as threats
Yeah.
to their weaknesses instead of compliments to their weaknesses.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always of someone, you know, not always. I haven't always been this way. Of more of late though, I've become more cognizant of the mindset that everyone's weakness can complement someone else's strength and vice versa.
Yep.
It's the best way for me. That's been mostly profound for me in my connections with people in the community. And don't subscribe to someone else's hate parade. Let's say, you know, Zach, you did something to wrong Brian. Don't sit there and try to recruit me to, you know,
Exactly.
you know, Brian, don't recruit me to hate Zach because of it.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't help grow anything. If anything, it only grows more resentment. It
Yeah,
doesn't
animosity
go
is
anywhere.
toxic.
Yeah. It's the cancel culture bullshit too, right? So it's like, you know, it's like the guy that I feud with. I don't actually have a beef with this guy. I don't like him that much as a person because of my dealings with him. But I tell people, if you want to go to this event, like don't use me and him not getting along. Don't think that I'm telling you not to go to his event. If it's an opportunity for you, go. You know what I mean? Like,
Go.
yeah, like
I
I'm not.
encourage you.
Yes, I
Get the
do.
experience.
Yeah, like
Get
I'm not
get the
saying
table
anything.
time.
Yeah,
Get
like
the ready
I'm.
go experience.
Yeah,
I don't care who you go
exactly.
to see, who you go to
No.
train with.
You might have a great
Go.
time.
You might, yeah, like you know.
Exactly. You may have a completely different experience and find out that individual is just uniquely doesn't like me, and we're like oil and water. That
Yeah.
could be just unique to me.
Yeah,
That
no,
you know
exactly.
that in that light, you know, I encourage everyone. Like, you know, we had a big event in the Northeast. It's called Winter Blast,
Yeah,
and
I heard
I encourage everybody to go. But somebody once said, because I said I wasn't going to go, I was discouraging others of going.
Oh
And
yeah,
I was like, that's completely false.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's projecting what you thought I was saying. I told you go. I told everybody go get that experience, because that's a platform. You're going to get 200 to 300, 400, you know, people pulling at one event. That's a great place to learn how to arm wrestle, and stick around. And I always encourage you, stick around for the after pull, because that's where true learning how to arm wrestle happens, so that you can take it to your practice and say, hey, I learned this at this after pull. Does it work for me?
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. But see, yeah, it's just too bad because every time I hear any kind of riffs, it always comes down to promotions, or this guy held an event too close to mine, or this or that, or this guy said he wasn't coming to my event, so that means he's telling yeah, exactly. It's like we don't want to put wedges in arm wrestling. We want the community to come together and be strong, right? Like Last thing we want is cancel culture bullshit. Like that's
Yeah.
has no place in arm wrestling, like at all.
Well, especially with
That-
you Brian, being a promoter and stuff, you don't want people to think you're like that and don't want to show up to your events now, right?
Exactly, exactly. It just
you don't
sets,
want it done to you. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's we. What I'd like to see for arm wrestling is just what I see in arm wrestling. How we're all brothers. It doesn't matter. I go to an arm wrestling club on the other side of Canada. I feel like they're my brothers or sisters if there's women there. You know what I mean? And you get accepted anywhere because you love arm wrestling, right? That's really what arm wrestling is. And that's why I love this sport so much. I've met so many people, so many friends, so many like I never met you before, Dan, but you're my friend, you know what I mean? And you're on my podcast and we're talking like we've been friends forever, right? So that's what arm wrestling is, really. And you definitely don't want to put any wedges in to hurt that. Like, why would you want to be responsible for putting in toxic bullshit? Like, you don't want to be that guy. That's the way I look at it.
Definitely don't want to be that guy. I mean, that's why I created my podcast. It's called Collaborate and Pull Together.
Yeah.
And it's on and off the table experiences, people who are in arm wrestling, people who are even my former sponsors that I bring them onto the podcast so they can see a little bit more about our interactions and help promote positivity and wellness to arm wrestlers who may never thought, hey, wait, I can take advantage of that too, or maybe I have something like that in my neighborhood. Let me start looking into it, and they start Googling it. That's why I'm always on my Instagram. I'm always resharing and reposting all different entities of wellness, and you'll see it under Dan the Nightmare. If you follow me, you'll see that's all I ever post, and a couple of pictures of my son, a couple of practices, but mostly just collaborating with other entities to help expose the sport and individuals in the sport too.
Yeah.
No, I agree. People don't realize how easy it is to actually bring in a person to arm wrestling. I was remember Mayhem, Zach, that just happened? At Mayhem, I'm outside and these kids are out there. It's on a Friday night where you compete on the Saturday at Mayhem at the mall. It's one of the biggest tournaments in Canada, actually. It's actually, I think it set a record for the biggest tournament in North America a couple years ago, actually. But it's huge. Oh yeah, John Brzezink's been there before. All the big names have come there. It's been I think it's 20 years running now or something. But yeah, there was these kids out and they were loaded. They were there just to party for the weekend. And I was out there talking. They're like, "Whoa, man, you got a strong hand." They shook my hand. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an arm wrestler." He's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's a tournament tomorrow." He's like, "I think I could arm wrestle." I'm like, "Well, why don't you come on out? There's an amateur class." You know what I mean? Well, that kid showed up. I don't know. I wish I remembered his name, but he showed up, he pulled, and I seen him at the next tournament after that with two buddies that he brought. So you know what I mean? That's awesome.
That is awesome. That tickles me. In that same one of the guys, two of the guys actually that had super matches at my event, they were introduced to the sport at my previous year's events. So being able to offer them matches at my own event, talk about nostalgia. What? That is so cool. That's such an honor, a tickling honor at that. That it feels good that you've changed this person's life, the trajectory. They would never have gotten into the sport of arm wrestling. Maybe on their own they may have, but they stuck with you.
Yeah.
And they're running circles that you're running.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, oh, sorry, were you gonna say something, Zach?
I was just gonna kind of just agree with what he was saying, really.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say though, that's why we want the government funding and stuff too, because I'm looking at it even substance abuse, right? I know 3 people right now. I'm not gonna mention them, but I know that arm wrestling changed their life and they might not be here today. They were heavy into some stuff and they're clean as a whistle now. You know what I mean? And it's I just see so much good coming out of arm wrestling. It's it really could. Arm wrestling is one of those things that if you never picked up a weight before, you never exercised before you get into arm wrestling, wow, a year later you're working out,
it's hard to find excitement in working out, but arm wrestling kind
Exactly.
of brings the excitement just in itself, right?
Yeah, arm wrestling just opens so many doors, right? It just, I don't know,
I could speak to that on a personal level, Brian. As a person in recovery myself, I started arm wrestling before I started my recovery journey. And it has been amazing in my recovery journey that the fact that I have arm wrestling to kind of bank upon. Because I'm feeling the heights of success much greater clean than I ever did when I was in active addiction.
Yeah.
And it has been profound. I encourage everybody and anybody who if they're sick and tired about being sick and tired, give me a call. Shoot me a message. My line is open. I can always talk to you and guide you as to which direction to go into. While I'm maybe fairly new on this pathway, I am happy to share my experience, my strength that I've experienced, and any hope that I can lend.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, same. Yeah, same here. I wasn't always perfect either. When I found arm wrestling, I was struggling with an opiate addiction. So, and I don't know if I would be where I am now if it wasn't for arm wrestling. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. A lot of us have a lot in common. People I meet throughout arm wrestling, especially through COVID. I think it was bad for the world. All the bullshit, but I think it actually did the opposite of what was expected. I think it brought a lot of people together, especially arm wrestling community. Did a lot
It
for
definitely shed a lot of light on different little niche communities that we never knew existed previously.
Yeah.
Because not for nothing, I knew about arm wrestling a little bit because in 2019 I was up at the local Renaissance Fair and they had like an arm wrestling competition. That was my first introduction. They had an arm wrestling competition at a combat arms table, and I was like, I've never done this at a professional table, only cafeteria stuff. And I got second place, and that was my very first experience. But it planted the seed in my mind because then during COVID, I remembered I enjoyed that, so I looked up arm wrestling, and then I found Game of Arms.
Yeah,
and that's how snowballed into what I am today. It turns out Mike Aiello is my neighbor.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of him, actually. I love the way that guy pulls. Yeah.
He's a funny dude. And I gotta say, by way of humble individuals, he's got the cake for that. He is one of the nicest. He's funny, but he is extremely humble.
Yeah.
Really nice dude.
I'm a fan of him. I'd like to see him actually. I know he had a surgery not too long ago.
He had a few surgeries, so I wouldn't hold my breath. He and I we talk about it. He's like, I'm getting too old for this shit, Dan.
Yeah, he pulls inside hard too. So
he was a former fireman. He was a former fireman, so he was very abusive to his body by way of that bodybuilding and the way he arm wrestled. So he definitely had a lot going on there.
Well, with his lever though in hand, he could turn it around and start top rolling. He could.
You have no idea. Since I started this sport and I discovered I was a really good top roller, and a lot of people actually encourage him. You should learn from Dan. Like the people would tell him, learn how to Dan top rolls. You'd be really good at it, and just couldn't get him to bite. Couldn't get him to bite.
Well, he just likes to bang right inside. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
more fun that way.
Yeah, no, it does. It's definitely entertaining. I like watching it. So, but at the same time, I wouldn't be bothered to see Mike Aiello come out a top roller either. That'd be
cool.
Amazing.
Man, his posting top roll would be freaking monstrous.
Yeah, that's what I know. It really would.
It would how tall he is and just the length of his arm.
All you gotta do is switch his exercises. Start doing riser and pronation rather than wrist curls and supination or whatever he was probably working. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, but did we finish the matches? I know we sidetracked 10 times. We got to the Michael Monster match.
Well, we'll quickly get the other ones done here. We got the Oleg Petrenko 4-0 over Angerbayev.
What a match. Well, Oleg, what a powerhouse.
I didn't see it happen.
Too much power.
Slight favorite to Angerbayev, but wow, Oleg just had full dominance over the pronator. Just crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
As
He looked like
technical
Paul
as
Lynn.
Agarbayev is, I think that he can be beaten by raw power and
Raw
Oleg.
power. Yep. I agree.
Seems to be,
I
That's-
seems to
agree.
be.
He's such a finesse style. Like he feels holes and he punches, and when he'll punch once and see if it's there, and then he'll punch hard, right? I love the way Ungerbayev pulls, but I think you're right, man. I think raw power just can't deal with it. When it's unstopping, like Oleg Petrenko, that guy, he just actually was on England announced today. He's getting the title match against David
no
Khan.
way.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Oh man, that's good. That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one.
But
Hmm.
I think he wins. I think he
You
beats
think
that.
Petrenko beats Dadikin?
You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Okay. Okay. Todd Hutchings versus Ungerbayev. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Then think about Oleg, how he handled Ungerbayev.
Yeah, but look
And
at
then think
Todd.
of David's match against Hutchings.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Dadikin's match against Hutchings, he freaking destroyed Hutchings.
Well, he did and he didn't. Like he did. There was times when Hutchings was in the match, right?
That's
But all I'm saying, and I'm just saying though, Ungerbayev and Hutchings he held Hutchings. Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of a war, even though Hutchings won convincingly.
okay. Well, I'll ask you this then, because we all know the truth. It's hard to say, but what matters most in arm wrestling is 100% power. That's what matters the most is power. It's obvious.
Yeah, and you got to have technique as well.
Your technique's great to have. It's just what power is going to be your driving force, right? Do you think Oleg has more power than Dadikin?
Well, this is what I'm saying though, right? If I
think
measure,
Dadikin's
I
got
know
more.
styles make matches, right?
Yes,
But if I
they
was
do.
to do an evaluation of Hutchings' power versus Davikan, and then I look at the way Hutchings and the Ungerbayev match went, and then I look at the way Oleg handled Ungerbayev, I think he stands a much better chance against Davi than Hutchings did.
The power gap is not going to be so great.
It's not going to be as great, no, but I just
That's fair.
think the power gap between Hutchings and Oleg were obvious. Right?
Yeah, okay. I'll think of this though. With the main thing that Oleg was kind of doing was attacking that pronator really hard, kind of to drive through and down.
He looked like Paul Lynn. Him and Paul Lynn were the same thing.
Well,
they did the
look
same.
at Dadikin. Dadikin sits
I know he's so
totally
strong there.
supinated all day.
I think it'll be a wicked match.
If he's going inside, he doesn't even fight that. So I mean, if
it's going to be a barn burner.
he might
But
hit a wall
here's another one. Who gave Alajan the best match? Petrenko. Petrenko was in that match against Alajan.
That's fair.
No one else even came close.
I was wrong.
I'm just looking at past matches.
And I was wrong about this match. I had him as the underdog, and clearly he came in 10% stronger by looks of it, at least. So I mean,
yeah, I'm just saying, right? Like if you watch Alajan's matches, the only one that was in the match was Oleg. I think he got rounds too.
I won't be surprised if he does win, but I still have Dadikin as a favorite.
I know. I'm picking Oleg. I'm picking Oleg.
I can see it.
Yeah, and I'm not a big David fan, so you know what I mean. That's another thing. I think
he's gonna get dethroned.
You think? You think Oleg's coming for it and gonna get it?
I think he is. I don't know.
I think Oleg's hungry enough. You know, if he's hungry enough, and you know how Paul Lynn says, you know, the hungry dog Oleg gets the meal. You know,
bites harder, bites faster, bites stronger.
And he's doing it for his coach's name too. I mean, but Pushkar, right? Pushkar was his coach and is the one that trained him and got him started. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a story. I think maybe I'm looking at the story behind it and I'm cheering that on, but
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. I just, and David, I didn't like how he acted in some of his matches. I think if we just
look straight on paper, that's what I'm going off of here. I think Dadikin's a slight favorite still on paper, but paper isn't everything. I mean, like Ungerbayev was the clear favorite in that match, and
I think so.
Paper, and he lost. So I mean, Oleg continues to surprise me.
I mean, no one's ever beat Ungerbayev like that.
No, I've never seen it. Even freaking Krodetchik couldn't beat him like that. Levon couldn't beat him. I know those were 5-6 years ago, but even still, I'm counting that because they still had 100 kg on him almost.
Yeah, I was very impressed by Petrenko in that.
It was definitely a power win. That was one of the few matches I stopped. I was like carrying something. I was like, holy shit!
and I thought it was
tracks.
I'm like Petrenko's Paul Lynn's Ukrainian brother. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, because
So
Carbon
strong
copy.
fundamentally in a driving downward cupping. As
yeah,
they come sideways, they just drive
yeah,
down
they just
and drag it.
yeah.
Crazy
That's
power.
a
It
match
looked-
I would want to see too.
Mm,
Paul Lynn versus Petrenko.
yeah, yeah, that could be. Ooh, they pulled the same.
That's a match
the
right
same.
there.
Yeah, that I think so. I think you're right because they go to the same spot. Like,
And they're all
Mhm.
105, hey?
yeah, yeah, I think so.
And
Yeah.
I think Paul Lynn's what, number 5? And then Oleg would be what, number
But he
3?
Paul Lynn likes to compete at 95. But I think
Did he?
he's got to rethink that because he came in really strong at
He
105.
looked really good at
Imagine
105.
not doing the weight cut and being that strong.
Well, he said he was like
Well, you know-
327 feeling good waking up. So he didn't even have to go to 332.
Yeah.
He and I talked about it because he was actually on the weight gain. He's like, this is the cleanest weight gain that I've ever done, and I've actually never felt that better before.
Mhm.
I've never felt better. I feel healthy. I don't feel like I'm sluggish in any way or form, and he didn't look sluggish in any way or form.
No, no.
He did not do a dirty weight gain at all. So, I think that we might see more out of that weight class from Paul. I hope so.
I think so.
'Cause
I think so. He might
It
have
was
it in his
impressive.
head that he's just better at 95 because he's cutting all down on all that weight and everything. But maybe, looking at this is an eye opener. Lachlan's no joke. I mean, he looked
Oh.
very, very, very impressive his last match. Well, who was it again? What's that guy's name he pulled the last one? I think he was a Georgian, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Abuli
Can't
or
remember.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
I forget his name. Sorry, everyone. But Lachlan looked strong. He looked really strong, man. And and he's not used to cutting down to that lighter weight, Lachlan. And I didn't think I was rooting for Paul. I thought for sure Paul would win, but I did not expect Paul looked very the best he's ever he just looked so strong. So strong. So I hope Paul reconsiders and maybe he's just a lot stronger and feeling healthy means a lot too, when your performance. And I think guys, they try to cut so damn much weight and it's is it really worth it? You feel like crap, you're dehydrated, and then you put on all this water weight. It's like fake weight anyway, the day of the competition. You're diminished. Your body can't use all those nutrients properly in that short of time to regain all your energy, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's easy
No,
for me,
I
but
when I dropped down to 154s, man, while I was still strong, I'm not nearly as strong as I am right now. I was faster, but I also had no endurance. I felt sickly after a tournament or after an event. I didn't feel healthy, mind or body.
yeah, brain fog.
So I feel healthier at this weight that I'm at now. And if I take a loss, it's because the guy just has that much more power than I do.
Well, that's right. Sometimes you're
and-
just not the better man that day,
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter to me as much anymore. Whereas if I lose when I'm lighter, though, it's because I don't have the endurance. I don't have the energy to keep up. I have a litany of excuses in my head.
Yeah.
Whereas when I lose now, it's no. He's just he was better than I was today.
Yeah. Well, and lately too, I was going on a little streak there where I just wasn't losing much. You know what I mean? And then I didn't learn anything, and I got cocky in my head. I'm like, oh, I'm just too strong, and then when I lose, it seems like it does so much more for me. It motivates me in the gym. It makes me want to learn again. It just does so much. Your losses define you way more than your wins. Not saying you want to lose every match, but if you're losing and you're doing the right things, learning from them, you're not going to continue losing. You know what I mean? But it's good to lose sometimes, right? It is good to lose, even though
it is.
Yeah.
I will quote somebody else that once said, I think it was Ryan Grondin from the 98. Losses are free instructions to future wins.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's I can't say I learned anything from any of my wins. I don't even remember. I remember just that I won, but I don't remember a lot. And when I lose, I remember every detail.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You can learn when you have a plan that you plan out and you execute it
That
and it goes
works,
right.
yeah.
That could be a learning process a bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, you definitely learn a lot more, or you can learn a lot more when you lose.
Yeah,
It gives you a lot more knowledge about yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
And then the next match, second last match, is Vitaly Liletin and Kamil Jablonski. It was 4-0, but then they did the other two matches. So it was
Yeah,
4-2 in the end. But
I don't know.
that was a crazy
My,
match. That went the way I
uh,
thought it was going to go, though. I thought Vitaly was going to get it.
Me too. Me too. But I was worried. I was worried about the setup because Jablonski tends to get a big advantage a lot in the setups, and I don't actually like. I know. I beat up on this guy. He's, you know what? He works hard. He deserves his wins. I watch him. He trains so hard, right? Camille or whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the thing is I hate his style, right? And I don't like the reffing a lot of the times with his style. I don't think that it's fair. And why I'll say this is they have a tendency, like for one, he usually starts, they'll try to make him square, right? But he starts with his wrist like this, right? And we always make sure we straighten the wrist, right? We always want this, right? Well, just because he gives up his hand and this is a benefit to him because you know what he's doing, right? And he gets right in and is ready to that's it, right? But he's starting in an advantage because that's an advantage for his style. They say that his wrist is back. This is a disadvantage. So they allow it to start that way. But to me, that's not right. They should still make him even his wrist. And the reason I say this is because his style depends on letting his hand go. Now he's starting in the flop. You know what I'm saying? And like you watched it against Devin, unless Devin committed his whole frame and jumped in there, he didn't have a chance to beat him because he lost before the go even went. And like, I know I'm hating on the style, but I'm hating on it because I just think that if you're starting like this is supposed to be a disadvantage, but in his case, that's an advantage because he wants that. And all he wants is enough purchase with his fingers here on the palm of the guy's thumb to be able to just quickly, you know what I mean? And it's so ugly. Like it's not arm wrestling to me. It's just dumping your body on a guy's arm. And I mean, that's his style. It works, right?
I mean, I've done it in a super match because I had to,
well,
but it wasn't like my go-to. It wasn't my first choice,
Yeah, like I see it happen, and I'm not against it. But like you've seen him on Knuckles Up. He tried to pull normal, and it was like, no way, right? He went
that's
right
I mean, like
back
it's one thing if
again,
you're
right?
if you're doing everything you can to stay in the match and you go there, sure, fight as hard as you can. But I mean,
exactly. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on the flop.
Terrible technique. You're giving
I do
up
the
all
flop
this stuff
sometimes.
you want. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll do the flop to finish.
I'm not a fan of receiving the flop, because I actually don't.
It sucks. Yeah,
it sucks to catch a flop, yo. It sucks.
There is a way to beat it though. But
I listen. I know, like it's
just pull him out of his shoulder
in the setup.
Yeah, you have to beat him in. Yeah, that's right.
Don't want to cut the bone line and
you got to do, Ivan, Yvonne, sorry. He all he does is snap and take him outside his shoulder and just quickly hook him to the pad. You got to use speed to pull him outside his shoulder, and then he's done, right? So you have to recognize the flop, recognize what he's doing, and you got to just quickly snap him and pull him outside his shoulder and finish him. But I mean, not everybody's good inside, right? If you're a top roller, that could be unless you're light and fast. Yeah.
I have a couple of guys that I train with that do flop presses, and before I ever learned how to hook, I actually learned how to catch with a top roll, and be able to pull. But it was more of a defensive top roll, so that they were like all the way over the table.
You're giving some away to get some. Yeah,
it's
like a low hand, right? Yeah, it's like But see, I found with flop pressers, the best thing to do is to punch high. Because if you punch straight up on your tricep, what you're doing is you're taking away the height. Because flopping from here is 70 pounds, but flopping from here is 250 pounds. So if you can just quickly just punch up and stop it, they don't have enough in their flop to do anything.
No, not enough torque.
Yeah, exactly. So the best thing to do is to punch up. If you're a top roller, punch up, get the height. And then they're up here trying to flop, and that's no good, right? Because they'll actually have to give it up or you break their arm, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. If
good
you can
point.
control their wrist flexion too, is a big
Yeah,
thing.
that's another thing. Yeah, exactly. So there's ways to beat it. Don't get me wrong, but when you're that Jablonski he knows that flop
He's
is,
heavy, man. He's a thick
and
frame,
he's
heavy guy.
strong. Yeah, it's just I
So
don't know. I'm just not a fan.
you mentioned something before, Brian, how you said you wanted the wrist to start, straight, right?
Yeah, usually that's what we
I,
look for as refs. Yeah.
Usually that's what you look for, except
Mhm.
for the time I got my bison up at Ottawa.
Okay. Yeah.
The guy who knocked me out, he was carved in like
That's
this.
horrible. Yeah, that's
And,
horrible. Yeah.
and I said, listen, I want a ref's grip. And
Yep.
he's got
30
he's got a
seconds.
grip already.
30
And
seconds.
I was fighting with it, and he said, "Close your hand." I'm like, "No, I want a rev's grip."
Yeah.
Fighting with it, because he was
Yeah.
carved,
Yeah.
and they were like, "You're gonna get a foul if you get a warning." And I was
No,
like,
because they want
"What
you
do
to
you mean?"
attempt to make a grip. But long as you're attempting to make a grip,
And
it's
I
30
was.
seconds ref grip. Yeah, well, that's the rule. But refs, they, you know what? Not all refs are some refs are biased, and some refs also make up their own rules in their head. They think that you're just
Well,
trying to play and you're not attempting to make a grip.
at that moment, I got the foul, and I
Yeah.
was like, "I'm not fouling out of a match."
Yeah, so you
This is
accepted
for
it and you
third.
lost. It happened to
I,
me
ex-
recently.
I accepted it exactly, and then afterwards, I told Devin. He goes, welcome to Ottawa," and
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
was like, I guess it's. He goes, dude. You do realize you're a New Yorker from the United States here in Ottawa. They're not going to let you win.
Yeah, but you know
They're
what's
not going
funny?
to.
I know, I hear you, but you know what's funny about that is I'm a ref. I ref a lot. I've actually ref like 14 events in the last 18 months.
Oh
I've done a
wow.
lot of refing, and I'll tell you right now, I don't even know who's pulling half the time because I make it a point not to look at the competitors. I just do my job. So I see two arms on the table, it's shoulders, right? Rotate, wrist. I don't even know who's pulling. And the second I get the thumbs up from my down ref, who I trust 100%, and I'm happy with what I feel, it's ready to go. I don't. Refs have you almost have an oath not to ever really care who's pulling.
Who's
You know
pulling?
what I mean?
Okay,
You
fair
can't
enough.
be. No, you're not allowed to have a bias, and I live by it, right? But I see so much of it with these other refs, and I call them out on their bullshit. I just had it happen to me in Lethbridge. Zach, I bitched about it already on the podcast 3 times. But I gripped up with the guy, and the guy grabbed my thumb, like he just grabbed me before I even put my arm down, and he was over my thumb knuckle. But the ref that I had was some old school ref and I don't like him that much. But anyway, and I couldn't get a grip. I couldn't even reach my thumb. I couldn't even cap, right? I couldn't reach my thumb anyway. So I kept trying. He's like, take your grip or I'll foul you. And I'm like, and it's been like 40 seconds. So finally, I just ripped my arm out. I go, I can't even fucking see my thumb. This is ridiculous. The down ref said, ref's grip. He goes, nope, that guy made an attempt to make a grip. You didn't. I said, what are you talking about? I was trying to get a grip. He was over my thumb. And anyway, it went for like a minute. Finally, I had to just take it and then fucking lose. You know what I mean? So I had it happen to me too. But now, you know what? That guy's reputation, because I haven't stopped since then, and everybody knows which ref that was. And is it worth it? You know what I mean? Because now
Fair
everybody,
enough.
I don't even think he'll ref another event in Alberta because everyone said he's not refing again because everybody's seen it. And it wasn't just with me that day. There was like 7 complaints from athletes, and we do care here in
Wow.
Alberta. We do care here. If 7 guys put complaints in on a ref at the end of the event, we do look at it because because we can't
That's
have that.
important.
No,
I
because we
like that.
want you to come back. I don't want you not coming to my event because that guy's refing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
That's what.
important and it's about integrity. Not anybody I've ever fucking refed, not one of them is going to say, oh, Brian was biased or Brian didn't give me a fair setup or Brian didn't do this. I haven't had it yet. I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I make mistakes. I've made mistakes in matches. I've caught it. And I've even reversed decisions, been like, listen, we're going to restart it, guys. This is something I missed. I apologize. We're restarting the match. Like, you know what I mean? You can't have pride as a ref because it's not about you. And you shouldn't even be known that you're there. A ref's job, if he's doing it right, you'd be like, who refed? Oh, I don't know who refed. That's how it should be, because it's about the arm wrestlers. It's not about the fucking refs. I hate these swollen head fucking refs that go in there and they make it about themselves. Foul, foul, foul. If I see a little hop and there's no advantage gained, I don't call it. Because why? Why? You know what I mean? Now, if you hop and you get an advantage, elbow foul. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But
course.
you know what I mean? It's not about the fucking refs. They get paid, and that's all it is. Ref, you got paid. That's what you got. You know, you're not going to get fucking ref of the year, or you're not going to get fucking a star status because you fucking make it the match all about yourself. And any ref out there that does that and think it's good, you're a fucking idiot. And I won't hire you for my fucking events. So anyway, hopefully that helped, Dan. Yeah,
it did help. But what you're talking about with like the big head thing,
yeah,
I experienced that at national sit downs, and a pin was called up too early.
Yeah,
and it cost me, the match.
And what did they say? That your wrist went below and your knuckles never hit? Is that what they said?
No, they called a pin while I was holding a good
it's not
inch and a half away.
Yeah. They do that. I've seen it lots of times. Yeah.
And it was actually a really big match for me too, it was against Jeff Hale.
Yeah, Jeff Hale. Yeah. Come on. That's a huge match.
That's a huge match.
You get that, if you know.
And I was in my new sweet spot that I'm known to catch and pull right over and catch a pin.
Yeah.
And they stopped the match, and I was like, oh, what are you stopping the match for? So after the fact, though, I'll give the ref, credit. I'm not gonna say who it is, but he came up to me and apologized, profusely, and I was like, okay, you knew where you went wrong.
Yeah,
but it's still cost. I'm still a little sour because it did cost me a match, because that would have elevated my arm wrestling career up the wazoo.
Oh yeah, because what a name, right?
Yeah.
But see, this is what we got to remember as refs. Okay, we're just there to ref. This guy these two guys, each one of them at the table, they might have spent their last 3 months in a training camp. This means the world to them, right? And then you make a mistake. Is it worth what it causes those competitors because of your pride, or because you're biased, or whatever the case may be? That's why it's important as refs not to have bias, and it's a big responsibility. There's a lot of times now that I'm like, I don't want to fucking ref, because you know what? It weighs heavy, because if you're a person with a conscience and you really care about the athletes, you don't want to make those, bullheaded calls. You know what I mean? Like, and I see it a lot too. And I just shake my head, because it's like, it's not about us, man. It's not about the refs. It's never about the refs. We're just there to make sure that it's fair and safe. That's our job. That's it.
That's fair.
So, yep.
I mean,
definitely.
Yeah.
Luckily, most of the reffing's pretty good around.
Oh yeah, listen, 95. Listen, I'm only talking about a few instances.
Oh no, yeah.
But there's always for the ones that do make an impact on the sport negatively. I'm letting you know and putting you all in check, because you're not as important as the guys at the table. Never. So just saying.
So I mean, the last
appreciate
match
that.
here was freaking Artem Morzov and Matyushenko.
Yeah.
That was the one that had the reffing mistake, and it was kind of weird, and I don't really know what was going on in the first couple rounds, but
I didn't catch that one, so I can't even comment.
Well, I'm a big Yvonne fan, so I think he's amazing.
Well,
but
to kind of explain to Dan what happened was, it's the championship match, but the refs made a mistake and they weren't reffing it with championship rules, so they were incorrectly running with the fouls or something like that when they should have been restarting or whatever it was. So the match went quite a few, probably like, I don't know, it seemed like over 10 starts before they realized. So it seemed like a little bit of a mess up, but I mean, after they kind of started fixing it, it went good. But close match, very close. I was super surprised. I never saw it coming from a mile away. Freaking Matyushenko is crazy.
He is. I mean, he gave the perfect example on how to beat that Jablonski guy. Like, he just made him look silly. Yeah, he's like, oh, you're flop pressing? This is what you do. Yeah. Like, yeah. And you know what? Morozov, I think, is still way stronger than him. But you gotta, like, the guy's he's a wizard. He's a wizard, and he's been on top for what, 20 years? And
Yeah.
he was, people didn't even know who he was for a long time. And it was like, he's amazing. Like he was
Devin made a
Plinkoff
video.
back in the day. Like,
Yeah, Devin made a video, I think 2 days ago, saying that Matyushenko is probably the best hook initiator on the planet.
yeah, I
I
agree.
remember that. Yeah, yeah. You got a power hook, no other.
His ability to not just cup, but to do like a chopping supinated cup, and like it's crazy. It's unstoppable.
It is. It is. He's so good at getting it too. Like lightning.
He
Lightning.
will get it. Basically, he will get it.
Yeah, and he's a good example on how technique can overcome strength. I mean, he
Okay, well, absolutely, because his
Yeah.
fast twitch is good enough where
Yeah.
he can get to where he needs to, and that's how I arm wrestle. Is I hit for position.
Yep.
Unless I know for a fact I can go for the pin right away, I very rarely actually go for the pin. I'm gonna try to get to my vantage point as fast as I possibly can,
Yep.
so I don't get taxed.
And
Yep.
I mean, if you really think about it, that is being stronger than the other person. Just because they can torque it out and be stronger than you slow, but if you can explode and beat them, you're stronger than them. You just have to be explosive to be stronger than them.
Yeah.
So you just have to use your strengths and your fast
Yeah.
twitch, use it as you can, because some guys that are just really torquey and slow twitch, if you get caught in with them, it's going to look like they're just that way stronger than you. But if you can really use your speed and hit bang bang, they don't even have time to activate their muscles before you're freaking going full tilt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I usually hit for position. I like to hit for hand control. But if I do know I'm stronger than somebody, I'll slam right to the pad right away. Like, and I can usually tell them the setup, unless it's a no load guy. If it's one of those no load light, I know it's coming.
Oh my god!
I know what's coming. It's lightning fast hit. So as soon as I feel no load, I know what to do. I'm gonna this, because you know why?
Yep.
I can do this just as fast as you can go to the pad. Like, you know what I mean? But I can't match it with speed. So I know if I feel that no load and I try to just go, I'm going to be on the pad. So I know what that no load is. I mean, I've learned that. And I've only been flashed the one time. And ever since I've felt that, I'm like, oh, that again. Okay. You know what I mean?
And if you're not loading, like if you're loading, you're giving yourself a lot of defense, right? If you're not loading, you're all offense, very little defense. If you miss that go or you hit a wall, you have nothing loaded up to defend.
Yeah, that's right. And you know that a lot of those loaders, what they do, they hit, but if you do catch them, they're usually throwing themselves out of position at that point, because they put all their eggs into that first hit and they're not in a position to defend when you catch them, right? So yeah, like I noticed that a lot of guys that are hitters that win a lot, when they get caught, you don't see them win too often, because a lot of times they're not in a defensive position to really counter anything, because they've thrown their weight and everything off track to try to get that pin, and now they're not in a position to defend against the surge, right? So I mean, there is hitters that still can do it, like they do it all, right? But I'm just saying, on the most part, the hitters, once you stop their hit, they're usually not in a position to defend properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, well, that covers all the matches. It looks like my wife's been telling me it's supper time, not in the chat.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, good woman there. Good woman right there.
Yeah, she's a good woman. I love her. Yeah, she's good.
Lucky man.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, Dan, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me on. I really do appreciate being on. And again, my podcast is on Mondays, so I would love to have you gentlemen join me.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
As long as you're available, I'll send Brian a message and he can share the love.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure. Yeah, sorry, I was sturgeon fishing yesterday. So
listen, fishing
I was on the river.
Priority.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah. I was like, oh man, I'm like, oh, and then right afterwards, we got one finally. It was almost 5 feet long.
Nice.
Yeah,
it
was big. It was a good size. It was probably 50 pounder, probably a 50 pounder.
Right.
Yeah, they get up to about 200 in there, 200 pounds.
Ooh,
didn't land.
That's a big fish.
Yeah, I got snapped off by something big, but you never know. It's just a story, because I never landed it. So, but okay, guys. Yeah, again, thanks a lot, Dan. It was really good meeting you, buddy. And I've been following you for a while. So now I can say I'm your friend. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. You got a friend here. You're always welcome to the pit as well. Maybe we gotta celebrate our birthdays together.
Yeah, same day. That's crazy. That
insanity.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're connected in other ways. Yeah, that's awesome, buddy. And Zach, it's always good seeing you, brother.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, and
next time.
I'm going to end her, guys, but have a good night. And Yeah, man, a little flex.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Oh, I got bad camera angles. Not looking big. Oh.